It is Thursday night, and that means another Sick Podcast Anvil show. Oh my goodness, the organization may have heard us. I hear that they have freed AR, and he will start for the remainder of the season. So Clyde has some crow to eat tonight, but we're going to have a good time discussing exactly what in the hell is going on in the horseshoe. Sammy, start me up.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. Anvil Show.
Intercepted! Marlon Jackson! Marlon's got it! We're going to the Super Bowl! We're going to the Super Bowl! Marlon Jackson with the interception! He picked off Tom Brady!
The sickest Indianapolis Colts podcast. It's gonna be sick.
As always, it's going to be sick. But before we get into that, a word from our sponsor. Chris, you are up.
Absolutely. And we're gonna veer off a little bit from the NFL talk because the Emirates NBA Cup is here. Now you can win big getting in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. All 30 teams split into 6 different groups. I don't know how this works, but guess what? You do. So that means you're going to benefit every Tuesday and Friday playing for the right to advance in the single elimination in-season tourney, culminating in NBA Cup championship in Vegas. I think they're playing at the Sphere, aren't they?
T-Mobile Arena, whatever that is.
T-Mobile Arena? Okay, yeah. But if not, then if you're a first-time user with DraftKings, here's something special just for you. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. So score big with DraftKings Sportsbook. Every point counts. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code SICKSPORTS, SICKSPORTS. All caps, no spaces. That's code SICKSPORTS for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ftball.
And now, that is the official smash of the Anvil. Your show has started. We are live. Welcome to the Sick Podcast Anvil Show, boys. How are we feeling tonight? We were morbid on Tuesday, and I think we got a boost of energy for this Thursday. How are we feeling?
I was going to say, I got my excitement back.
You got your excitement back. Nice.
I got my excitement back, and I said it when they benched him. This entire season was about riding that roller coaster with him, watching him get better, watching him grow. And then you take him off the field. What do you leave me with?
I thought you were going somewhere else with that. My bad. I thought you were going somewhere else with that. So never mind. I thought you was going to do a little. I told you he's coming back. Anyway, Chris,
that's for later. When you got to eat some crow.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say we got a burst of energy. I'm just going to say that we got a little bit of excited confusion because we don't know what the hell these people are doing. But you know what? We know the AR starting, and we're happy.
Hey, you know what? I mean. This is okay. You know what? Let's just get it out the way.
Yes, please.
Omaha Clyde Oliver. Okay. Perhaps I was being a little emotional. Perhaps I was being a little
Drake-ish.
Oh no! Wait! Don't light skin me now.
Hey, wait! We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that.
Whoa! I didn't have my knee wobbling with the boots on. Chill out.
Yo.
I will say this, though. I think I did go a little hard in the paint because, I just felt like, how could you do this to a young kid and set him back when you said it was all about building him up? Now, here's the thing, though, because I'm still eating crow. I don't know what the real truth about anything is, but I think I'm going to hold myself to my truth that this was all about the tap out more than anything. I'm sure we'll break into some interviews and some things like that we can break down further. Kenny has been in the talks here lately the last couple of days, but I'll say this: I was wrong. I didn't think we were going to see the kid. Definitely not this year. I didn't think we was going to see the kid again, despite the organization saying what they said. We're not giving up on him, but we had seen the stats, right? I wasn't alone. When the stats say you take a young quarterback and you kind of kick him to the curb, does he come back? No. So we have
wrong on that stat.
We have set the bar for that.
Yeah.
So young quarterbacks out there probably talking to guys like Caleb Williams. You're going to get benched at some point because I don't know what you're doing, but hopefully your organization will bring you back.
But you know what? I think this thing with AR is different, though.
It is.
This thing with AR is different, and the thing with AR is different because of the fact that he wasn't drafted as a generational prospect. He wasn't drafted coming off of 2 national championships, and he's just playing absolutely awful. This is a guy who had limited experience. That is very easy to tell that he had limited experience, but he doesn't have the same type of resume. Like Trevor Lawrence was seen generational, somebody that they also call generational. So now that he's just decent, they're just like, oh, this guy, he isn't all he was cracked up to be. But now we see with AR, it's just like AR came in. He was a high pick that had a high ceiling and a very low amount of experience. Mm-hmm. And so the thing is for him, it's just like he has a cushion. He has a bubble to be able to do what he needs to do. Whereas guys like Caleb, you can say, you can, because of the fact that he was billed to be this guy who's this mega star, who's supposed to be the next coming of how many quarterbacks you put together from the past. Now he ain't doing it. And it's different, even though you still got to give him time. But I mean, this thing with AR now, it's just like,
it's a circus.
Yeah.
To say the least.
But you know what? But to the crowd, and I'm sorry, Clyde, I don't mean to keep on jumping in, but to the crowd who said we needed Flacco because we're win now, you can win Deets nuts. Okay, you can win Deets nuts. Okay, because we can absolutely just go and say it right now. We were not in win now.
I think they won them.
You can win Deets nuts because we're not going to go ahead and do that. And Deets nuts, if you're watching, sponsor your boys. I mean, we're all good. But yes, okay, that's it for me. I'm going to stop now.
Here's the deal, Chris. Real shit. They had to.
I got to see.
They had to see.
Yeah.
They had to see it for themselves, right?
And they did.
3 weeks ago, oh man, they were out and they were mighty. Flacco's going to give us a chance to win. The kid is terrible. He needs to watch. We need to cut him, trade him. Oh, they had to see.
Mm-hmm.
Saw. And when they saw,
Jesus Christ,
it was not pretty.
I knew it. I was waiting for it. I was going to see. I was just like, you right there. You know exactly what it is. That's what I'm saying. Yes.
So we back up. And by the way, for all the folks that were absolutely stoked and waiting to hear from the new podcast, the Sick Podcast, Lions Den, that will be canceled because I am back to being a Colts fan. So I'm sorry that I let you down. There will be no podcast leading into the Lions game in 2 weeks. My apologies. I'm back on the Colts wagon. So, Pat, how you feeling, sir?
Like I said at the beginning, I got my excitement back. I'm ready to watch the games now. I'm ready to go to the games. Because we said it all season. We said it all training camp. We said it at the very first game. No true fan has these giant expectations of Anthony Richardson because of what Chris just said. Crazy high ceiling, very low experience, but the talent's there.
Facts.
We want to watch that develop. That's exciting to me. That's exciting football to me.
Facts.
And they took it away from us for whatever reason, which I believe we're going to get into tonight.
We are.
And I think Tuesday I might have struck a little bit of the head of the nail with Kenny's comments. And the thing is, I didn't believe it when I said it. So don't think I'm sitting here taking credit. I knew this. Oh, I knew that. No, that's and I said it Tuesday.
Did you put a call in to get
no,
some?
no flies on the wall here.
No flies on the wall. Okay, well,
but you see what I'm saying though. That excitement's back. Look, I don't know. It's crazy what we've just went through, what we've gone through as a fan base in the last since Luck's retirement.
Yeah,
it has been the biggest emotional roller coaster of my life.
We still got 7 left. We still got 7 left to see. 4-6. We're 1 out of the playoffs right now behind Denver. Like, it's crazy to think that this season still has a heartbeat after everything we've been through. But let's get into the things that we really want to talk about tonight. So I believe that we should just start with the man of the hour, which is Anthony Richardson. And Sammy, let's cue up Anthony Richardson.
Not necessarily, because I'm new to this. I'm still new to this. I'm still learning information. But when it comes, not necessarily, because I'm new to this. I'm still new to this. I'm still learning information. But when it comes to being a professional, you feel like you're doing a lot of things right. But when it comes to sacrifice, there's always more things to sacrifice, like time and stuff like that. So just being a pro and just learning more about that, I'm glad Shane gave me the opportunity to do so.
Okay, so here's where I am with this. Anthony alluded to the fact that he was actually happy that he got benched because he learned a lot about himself. I'm not making any excuses here. He's a new father. He's a franchise quarterback. He's coming off injury, big game excitement, lots of things he has to put into play every day to be better and all the other things. And apparently it was not happening. Now, I will say this. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but all we've heard is that he's a great teammate. He's a great community man. He's a great overall man in person. And so it's hard to believe. Let me not even use believe because I'm not trying to question what he's actually saying out of his mouth, but it's kind of odd to hear, like, was he not caring enough? Was he not preparing strong enough? Whatever. I'm not going to go out here and go full conspiracy theorist. But to me, it seems as if we can't say we benched you because you tapped out, but we could throw this into a battery of things, right? Like if you prep harder, if you stay a little bit longer, if you're being more available, if you will, to your teammates to get extra work in, perhaps we can bring up that completion percentage and other things to show you how to be a better pro so that you never do this again. I'm kind of looking at it that way. I know I'm maybe rambling, but there's no way they're going to come out and be like, okay, you were punished, you tapped, you learned, you're back in. But I think they had to take a combination of things, sort of like what Chris was talking about on Tuesday, where they had to combine all the things that led to a benching, and that put them over the top.
The tap out, that was the straw that broke everybody's back. It wouldn't surprise me if you had players going in, to Shane's office saying, "Look, this kid's got to get straight. You can't do this. You're going to lose the locker room." I could see him saying that, only because now the news is being reported that they had a captains only meeting with him.
Oh, so that's new. I didn't even hear.
Yeah. And I promise you, if you're being set down by the team's captains, this is something personal that you're doing or not doing that needs to get squared away.
Especially when you wear the C yourself. So it's not as if you don't have a captain on your chest yourself. So yeah, I could see how that could go a little. That could be a little off. But Chris, you jump in there. Where are you feeling like?
You know what? It's you kind of alluded to it, and like I said, we can go conspiracies all day. But if I'm going according to the way things look and what we know about Anthony Richardson, because there's been a lot of things being said, a lot of dirt being thrown on his name per se, talking like he's lazy or he's not paying attention and he's not doing all these things, and for him to kind of go through those ups and downs, and mind you, the theme with him amongst those veterans, amongst those guys who have been in this locker room for 4, 5, 6 years, has been, like I said, we're with him, like we're standing by him, we're doing all these things. If I'm going with anything, I'm going with the fact that, and I mean, it's not necessarily a conspiracy theory, but let's just talk life. This is a 22-year-old who is now a franchise QB, probably taking on more than he's ever had to and taking on new responsibility when it comes to children.
Keys to the
No,
city, if you will, right?
exactly. And I mean, you're like, he essentially went from just being able to just be the super athletic guy out of Florida to now having to go ahead and be the guy who's going to be responsible for getting this team out of this, out of this years long rut that we've been dealing with, where we've only been good enough to get to the playoffs and play in a wild card. And that's
Facts.
for years. And
Facts.
so for me, and it's just like, and on top of that, I mean, we can all be very honest. We all have or have had kids, had babies, and you know that when it came down to those babies, when it came down to that time, you put a lot into it. We ain't no deadbeat dads on this podcast. So
Facts.
we know that we're gonna, that there's a certain level of care. And I think for him, he may have just balanced himself in a way where the team started to be less in terms of priority. And they're telling him, just be like, nah, this isn't one of those things where it's just like you coming in, just trying to make the roster. Like, you're the guy. Like, you're going to be the guy. And you're not just the guy this season. You're the guy that's supposed to be the guy for the next decade plus.
And I'll agree to that too, because he also said, like, it's not about just coming and getting your work in, which then again is alluding to, hey, look, I did what I'm supposed to do, whatever that is. I checked all my boxes for today, whatever they were. I'm about to hit it. You know what I mean? Because he said, like, nah, look, if they stand late and doing this, or they doing this and this and that, you know what I mean? Like, I got to do that too. I got to be willing to do that too. So I could see some of that. Plus, even though he is the franchise quarterback and he was technically a rookie last year, I don't think he really went through his rookie haze, if you will. Like where they get to, they treat you like the rookie, grabbing the bags and you know what I mean, whatever it may have you, because that's just part of like becoming you're being cultured, if you will, to become into their locker room. And so I feel like a little bit of that was showing is like, okay, yeah, man, like you moving around a little too veteran-esque.
Exactly.
You haven't earned that V yet. You know what I mean? You got the C, and most quarterbacks wear the C, but you ain't got the V yet.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, most of your veteran quarterbacks, they know the process. They know what it takes. They know they have to be the general, first in, last out.
Yep.
And was it the baby? Was it this? Was it that? We'll never know. But at least he's right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's a good thing, because hearing and trying to piece all the different little snippets of news that comes out, it confused me, because he has always said, I want to be great.
Yep.
I want to do this. I want to have these. I want to, win so many Super Bowls. Don't call me Cam. Don't call me Jalen. Don't, I am me now.
Don't call me
and I am here to make my mark.
But
So
what is it?
where was the damn disconnect that he didn't know that you're first in, first out, or last out?
Well,
that he didn't know.
Don't
that,
call it that, though. Don't call it that. Think about what he is. 21 years old when he enters, like Chris said. But he's
20
also
20 when he was
20,
drafted.
My bad, 20. But
he's
then
22 now.
Yeah, he's 22. So he was about to turn 21, but he was 20 when he drafted on draft night. But what I'm getting at is, I think, to your point, Pat, all of that greatness was on like pure athletic ability. Like, I'm about to be something the NFL's never seen.
Yeah.
But the computation of what made Manning so great and Brady so great without having a lick of athleticism, right, was first in, first out, study, preparation. I know what the defense is doing before they even call it. You know what I mean? Then I call something that made them confused about why they called it, even though it's the right call. Like, how do I get there? That ain't even a thought, because I'm about to run around and throw 65-yard passes and, break away from everybody. No one can catch me. Like, I feel like that's where that was. I don't think it was a disconnect. I just think it's like, you don't know what you don't know.
Maturity level?
Yeah, because it's always been easy.
Yeah.
Think about it. It's always been easy.
Yeah.
Like, even though he's been hurt and he missed a lot of time in high school and college, when, people done the research, when he's on the field, it's been easy. Like, he's probably top 1.5-2% athlete on that field that day. Despite being in the SEC where it's nothing but class A, athlete. So that's what I'm saying. And then you get to the NFL, and then of course sound bites will ruin you. But they thought that his sound bite of him saying it was easy had something to do with him saying the league is easy. No, he was saying like everybody's here to do the same job.
Yeah.
So it's easy not to come to work and be like, oh shit, I gotta make the team. Like, nah, everybody's got to make the team. Like, my mind side is different. So I'm like, people just will clip anything, and like Cam Newton did that and made himself look stupid. Honestly, not AR, but anyway, that's an overall conversation. Goofball.
And we already had that, and they already had that debate because the clip itself was old. Mm-hmm. So the thing is, like, he's basically just doing that. It's just like you're clipping it, okay, whatever. Yeah. But it's not something that's unheard of. But then, Clyde, to your point, we also gotta like really just take into consideration the fact that it was like this is what it was coming in, and I think it's also, you're not going to be preparing in year one or in year two the way that you're prepared in year one. Because the thing is, there's rule changes, there's changes to the team, there's things that you're going to have to do. So the thing is, I think maybe also it caught up to him that this is an ever evolving thing. You're not just going to learn a system. You're not going to, it's not like you're in Florida where it's just like you just have one system. You may have a change in OC and then they're playing kind of according to what it is that you have. Right. Like you have to be able to be ready with everything that you had. Like you have all these pieces. You may not have the tight ends, or the tight ends aren't necessarily as involved this year. Right. So now you're going to have to make sure that you're being prepared for the fact that you may be getting a little bit more pressure. So how are you going to handle that? Right. And and the thing, like I said, and then on top of that, once again, you're doing that, and then you're waking up. I don't know if you're waking up in the middle of the night and handling bottles or doing whatever you're doing, but the thing is, you have this additional responsibility. So right. I think it's just like the mindset at least seems like had to evolve with the athleticism still being there. The athleticism is what allows him to not have to take sacks during games. Pause. But it's literally him having to now adapt to the fact that things now look way different.
And so, and think about that too, to your point, because let's just talk about somebody that's being successful. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to start. Let's say you have a 15-year career. You're going to have multiple OCs because as you win, that coach leaves. So that constant adaptability. But think about being in Florida for 1-2 years. You're probably lucky enough to have the same staff and you got the same system. And honestly, no bullshit. It's we win this year, we get you to the NFL. I'm bringing in the next kid. Like that's the way that's set up. So again, like processing what it really takes to be an everyday quarterback, even when you're off season. Like you're the one that's going to be calling people together. Like, hey, look, let's go to dinner. Let's go take a little vacation together. Like they're going to expect that as you get older, right? And even though you got a family and all that, but that's the sacrifice after the fact. When people retire, you're like, yeah, I sacrificed a lot. I'm happy to be a stay-at-home dad now if I don't take another job, because guess what? I missed all that. You know what I mean? So yeah, lots of process for a 21, 22-year-old. He just got married, all kind of shit. We ain't even put that in there. Just got married this summer.
And to pile on what you're saying, Chris, go back and look at a couple defensive players that we had when Gus Bradley's system came here. Yeah. Darius Leonard could not get it. The first year, Kenny Moore could not. Yes,
he wanted to leave.
So that those are just 2 prime examples of exactly what you just said. Now, Kenny came around. Darius somehow didn't.
Yeah. Well,
blame it on injuries, blame it on the scheme, whatever it is, it is. But it's a perfect example to what you were saying. As a professional in any field, you have to be able to adjust. Left, right, you have to adjust because nothing in the professional world stays consistent. Exactly. The only consistent is the inconsistency.
Exactly.
So you better learn how to adjust fire, baby.
What's up?
And I think, and was it a hard lesson? I think he just learned. Yeah. But guess what? He learned it. That's a good thing. I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
Thanks. And that's
and to me, that all goes part of the roller coaster that I knew we was going to be on with him. The learning, the growing. Some games he's going to look like he's grown 10 feet tall. Some games it's going to look like he shrunk. but we knew it's part of the progress. And this is him learning what a professional quarterback means in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not mad at him. I'm more mad at the organization for not being honest with us. Like, hey, no.
Well, I gotta Omaha you. Omaha! You know they keep things in house. I mean,
I know they do.
You and Chris Ballard are friends. He don't tell you shit.
He don't. Not like that.
How you
but it still pisses me off. Why couldn't they just be upfront and honest? Hey, he's not holding himself to the standard that we want. We benched him. He's going to sit back. He's going to watch. He's going to learn. He's going to pick it up, and we're going to put him back out on the field.
Because that's defamation of character, almost, man.
No, it's not.
You're not going to tear a kid down like that nationally. What are you?
Hey, I also want to say. I also want to say.
It might be, but that's my way.
Hey, Shane. You know what I want to say, Shane? Shane, you've been taking a lot of crap that Chris Ballard should have had thrown in his face. You've been out there on the podium every single week, at least 2 to 3 times per week, having to answer for the fact that you literally had to go up there and say verbatim that Joe Flacco was the starter at the end of the game, knowing that man threw 3 interceptions in a game, and sat there and looked those people in the face and had to say Joe Flacco is the starter for the rest of the season, only for 3 days later for you to have to go and say AR is the starter for the rest of the season. You sat there and you took those. Yeah. Matter of fact, it's just like you took the shots from the shotgun that had the bean bags in them, and you had no choice but to take those bean bags directly to the chest and possibly the groin area as well. And I'm sorry that you had to deal with that, because you shouldn't. You should be able to focus on the game and make up your game plan.
Now, can I stand up for Dad?
He's the head
coach.
No, we got so much
I'm
other
standing
stuff
up for
to talk
that man
about.
because you want him to take all the heat rounds for this. Fine. But when the team's doing good, he doesn't take the accolades.
When are they doing good?
Well, they've done good here and there. You see what I'm saying? What? During season, get in front of the coach. And y'all know
not done good.
So don't blame him. That's his way. He's never done that.
Man, you know what?
No.
Let's hear from another captain. Let's hear DeForest Buckner's this take, because we still got to talk about the whole Shane Steichen thing. Sammy, Defo, please.
Anthony get back in the starting role.
No, yeah. Honestly, I'm excited for him. I feel like the locker room, we all knew that at some point he was going to get another opportunity, and I'm excited what he's going to do with it. You know what I'm saying? He's had 2 weeks, sitting on the sideline and going through that whole process and everything. And the guy's always had his back, and I'm just excited to see what he's going to do this weekend.
Looks like he learned some things just kind of talking and watching some of you even on defense. It was something he hadn't thought about a lot until recently. So how did you go about navigating that, just trying to be a leader or a mentor or a teammate when he was kind of going through this?
Yeah, just trying to really just help him with, some routine stuff, day-to-day stuff. You know what I'm saying? Look, like, as a player, to go where you've never been and become the player that you want to be, you got to be willing to do things that you've never done. You know what I'm saying? And make certain sacrifices you've never made. And I feel like within this process, this past 2 weeks, he's been able to really see that, and that's what gives us so much confidence in him, knowing that he's rooted in the process, and he's developing as a pro.
Now, Defo said a lot that was very telling to things that we've already said. Anthony said the same things. Perhaps now you can jump in with your Kenny talk, that what you brought up on Tuesday, and then what Kenny would say after that. I'll say this quickly for my piece. What we should know now is there was definitely something behind the scenes, like we just talked about in the last segment, which AR was not completely doing. However, though we're excited as fans to get the exciting kid back, we should not think that suddenly he's ultimately better as an individual passer. The mistakes probably will still happen here and there, but I feel like he gives us a better opportunity to be in games all the way through. Just because, honestly, with him, it seems like it's never over, right?
Yeah.
But if he comes out and throws a couple picks, what's the alternative? Go back at Flacco? Fuck no. So let's not think that mid-season bench in 2 weeks, he was benched at 44%, 4 tutties and 7 picks or whatever it is, that suddenly for the last 7, he's going to throw no picks, have no fumbles, throw 20 touchdowns, and complete 65% on 4,000 yards. Like, let's just not get crazy. Okay? Because Defo kind of talked about the excitement of having him back. Is yes, we do want you to be our leader. We do know that you're a work in progress, but you have shown us that you know how to lead us. Let's be excited about that, and then the play will come. That's what Clyde has to say about that. But I'm open the floor. Pat, I know you have so much to say. Just say what you got to say. I can see the sweat beading up there. Come on, Fester.
No.
I was wrong. Shit. I was wrong. Damn.
I know you was wrong. And that's what makes tonight so fucking great.
Shit.
Clyde is not a know-it-all. And we found this out today. Now, when I brought that Kenny up on Tuesday, I didn't actually believe it. But something in my crowds just said, well, maybe he's talking about Anthony. But I'm telling you right now, I did not truly and wholeheartedly believe what I even said. But I'm just sitting here trying to grab pieces and put things together and get an understanding of what's going on. So for me, it doesn't matter. It happened. Everybody's learned. Everybody's grown. He's back on the field Sunday against, the youngest QB in the league versus the oldest QB in the league. Make that your storylines. Drop it all. Let's move on. The guys, everybody that I seen do interviews after practice said, from the beginning, hey, we still have Anthony's back. He's still our quarterback. So I don't think there's any damage that was actually done over this benching. I think it was all positive. So let's take that positive and help it grow.
Okay, so see, here's the thing. Absolutely not. And you want to know why? Because you know what? These people went out there and they allowed this man's character to be assassinated for 2 weeks straight.
Detrimental.
And we heard from people who have been close to the organization. Jeff Saturday said there's no doubt in my mind that there's something going on behind the scenes. And it's just like I don't know whether it's a front office thing, basically alluding to the fact that there was something else happening that we weren't aware of. But the only thing that we had to go off of was speculation from the media and what was being told by the people in the locker room. Now, the thing is, for me personally, you're not going to make me believe that this guy that we drafted last year, who was the ultimate team guy, who everybody knew was going to need to develop at least on the field, but we knew exactly who he was off the field. You're going to tell me that this was the guy that when him and Josh Downs came, they were throwing passes in the parking lot. He was making sure that he was the first in and last out. You mean to tell me that in a year he would eventually go from turning from Cinderella with the glass slipper to Maleficent in a year? Absolutely not.
It fucking happens, dude.
No.
Get a grip on reality.
No.
Who outside of the organization, and I know I can't answer this question. You guys won't be able to answer it either. But outside of the organization, who did he surround himself with?
His family.
I mean, well, his family.
Hopefully,
His family.
Hopefully, because to me, somebody saying, hey, you're the star. You don't have to be there that late. Hey, you're the franchise quarterback. You don't have to do this. Hey, all that pillow talk shit, that's real. That shit is real. And to me, and this is that's just my DEI brain thinking that some pillow talk got in that man's ear. Because, like Clyde said, he went from this at the draft to being benched. Something got in the kid's head.
Yeah, and it's probably the screams of a baby. Like it was
very well could be.
But the thing is,
Chris, you've got kids. You've got kids. Clyde's got kids. I've got kids. Hell, I'm old enough, got grandkids. you know those screams are coming regardless. You
Well,
know you still have a job to do each and every day,
Yeah,
regardless.
okay,
Yeah,
but he's 20,
but
22.
the thing is, but we also have to understand that we still got jobs to do. We have our own individual things that we do, but nothing. And I'm not going to say nothing because I will never say that the service of the military is any small feat. But
Yeah,
the
but I
thing
ain't
is,
no
this
fucking
man, this
franchise
man,
quarterback.
this man is the friend. This man was chosen 4th overall to be not just the quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts, but to be the franchise quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts. And mind you, based on everything that was said, the future of the Indianapolis Colts. And so the thing, like, we can, and mind you, there's nothing, and mind you, when he talked about sacrifice, sacrifice was a term that he used.
Yeah.
And he also talked about the fact of making sure that I got to go ahead and make sacrifices, with those sacrifices possibly being him having to make sure that that time that he thought he'd be able to devote to making sure that he's putting into his family has to be put into being on the field.
As well, right? So how do you find the correct balance, right? Like, I feel like that's something that he learned tremendously, because I feel like if that's what the story is, and we really going to get away from the tap out and only use the tap out as, a condiment, if you will, then we have to say, because what I believe is getting the work in. I just feel like he had a calendar, a clock, a schedule in his head. X amount of time here, X amount of time here. This is how long meetings are. This is this, and he boom, or maybe he's like, okay, boom, I'm texting the wife, like, what's good? Like, I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, he's taking on a lot, right? He's taking care of his mother, he's taking care of his brother, he's taking care of everybody, right? And I'm sure a lot of NFL players do that. Nobody's getting a pass here, but I'm just trying to look at how a lot of stress quickly can change your life, because you're like, look, I got like life-changing money, but at the same time, I am the person that makes everybody's life go. And if I fail,
I am the guy with the spotlight on him. Nobody
facts.
else.
Exactly.
And families first. He's a family-oriented guy. So you just brought a child in the world and you just got married. You probably like, them is my ones and twos. Like, football is easy, right? Like, just show up and do what I got to do.
Yeah.
Until you realize, shit, it's more to showing up. And
Yeah, you go from saying it's just like, I can go ahead and devote this time. It's just like, damn, I gotta do more now than I did before.
Facts.
Again, you guys might be right, but I'm just saying
We are right.
Pillow talk. Pillow talk's a real thing, and it changes a man's opinion about shit.
All right, that's weird. We don't want to hear about your pillow talk. That's not
Omaha!
okay. Let's give a word to our sponsor. Pat, do something that you do well. Talk.
Let's do it. Homage specializes in ultra comfy, high quality looking, repping sports, pop culture, and more legendary moments. Learn more about Homage with the link in the description, and take it from this big boy. That shit is comfy. Can't ask Clyde. He don't have none.
Wow.
But you can ask me.
What?
Bruh.
That Victory Monday pullover is the softest, most comfortable pullover I have ever had. Homage is the shit.
I don't know if I even like that spot. That was
Jesus Christ.
You did a lot of extra.
You just didn't like it because you don't have any.
I mean, that's fine.
And Clyde's
But
being
what?
butthurt again and felt left out.
Okay, I don't even know.
I'm
know
telling you
what?
right now, some dude in Qatar's got your shit.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it'll show up. That isn't even that, but
They
the
walk around in
whole-
the desert saying, "Thanks, Clyde. This is comfortable."
It is cold over there now. But with that, let's get a sick pick. Chris, where are we at, bro?
It's time for Sick Picks. Brought to you by DraftKings. The crown is yours.
All right, listen here, damn it. I have no else going on. All right, I want to be able to say, you know what? Yes, we're going to do this because it seems like a good idea. But these days with the Colts organization, I don't know anymore. Like, I don't know what's happening.
If you give me another chance, I epically failed 2 weeks ago. But if you give me another chance, I think I'm going to be okay.
Okay. So in that case, I'll pass the baton to you. What do you have being the sick pick for this week versus the Jets?
And I'm going to do something off the wall. I ain't even going to go with something simple like a touchdown. I'm gonna say Jonathan Taylor, 110 rushing yards. Remember last time he ate him up for 171. And they are struggling defense right now. People hurt left and right. They can't tackle. They can't do anything right. JT 110.
110. Okay.
Let's make it spicy. Let's make it spicy.
I'm going to give you some options.
Oh, here you go.
Anytime AR touchdown.
That ain't no option. That's easy.
Anytime JT touchdown and anytime Josh Downs touchdown. We coming into New York.
First off, we supposed to be making one pick. You motherfuckers are building a parlay. Like, what? Why are we building parlays?
There you go.
Bullshit.
Hey, DraftKings does parlay. So there you go.
Does
There's your
parlay.
3-leg parlay, baby.
Sick pick.
That's a
big pick, baby.
Hey, we could do a sick parlay. You just be like, hey, that's a 4-legger right there.
Okay, look, we got a few minutes left. We got 5 or 6 minutes left. We got Meanie. Let's bring Meanie in and have him talk about some things. Meanie.
Gentlemen.
Hey, this
How
is
the
a
hell
nice
are
little
ya?
space. What's going on here?
Oh,
Sorry,
Sammy,
guys,
you didn't cue up Meanie.
I was hoping.
Hey, Meanie, you back?
Hey, I was hoping to pop in a little earlier, but I've got Blue Crew Europe at my house, and I'm cooking for these dudes.
Oh, those dudes are wild.
Bring him on.
Oh, dude. No, I ran upstairs into my office to do this because I just pulled steaks off the grill, and they're like, "What are you doing, Eric?" And I'm like, "Podcast, gotta go. See you in 5 minutes."
Hey, get off your leader hosen and go get them boys.
Yeah, yo, fucking rising. 9. Scheisse.
9.
No, Christoph is crazy. You bring that dude on, we're going to be on here for 17 hours. All right, Meanie, what you got for us this week?
100%. Hey, I popped something on the website, and I hope you guys had a chance to read it. And I'll get you in the intro, and hopefully other folks will hit the website and go ahead and read this thing. So my latest that I popped up there is entitled, "If You Don't Know Where You're Going, Any Road Will Take You There." So we start this bad boy out. Welcome back to Colts fans' favorite game show, Win Now. I'm your host, Skip Winning. Let's meet tonight's contestants. First up, the CEO and majority owner of the Indianapolis Colts. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Jim Irsay. Yay! Hey, Jim, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Win now! Well, aren't you excited? Our studio audience would really like to learn some more things about you. Can you tell the audience something personal? Jim Morrison of the Doors and I would have been best friends if he hadn't drowned in a bathtub.
Oh, God.
John Cougar Mellencamp once spent the night at my house. Okay, let's meet our next contestant.
Shit.
Contestant number 2. Tell us who you are and a little bit about yourself. Hi, my name is Shane Steichen. I'm the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. Welcome to the show, Shane. Do you know how our game is played? No, I've heard of Win Now, but I really don't know what that means. Well, okay then, Shane. How our game works is that I'll give you a question and some plausible answers to that question. You're free to choose one of those answers, or you can come up with one of your own. In the end, we're going to know if you're in Win Now mode or if you're just hoping for a long trip somewhere else. Got it? Let's play our game. Hey, we have the German. There we go.
First off,
He's been invaded by Germany.
My brother, I told you.
they're here.
Cooking
Okay,
and drinking with Germans. This is volatile.
first off, hold on, Meanie. That's incredible stuff, bro. Julian just popped on. He said, "I like this guy." Man, the satire is next level. I can't wait to read that article. It's amazing. And this is why we bring Meanie on. Now, these cool cats, really quick before we get out of here.
Let me scoop my
These
ass out of the way.
dudes are the coolest Blue Crew Europe guys ever. I, right now, am saying to NFL Europe, Blue Crew Europe, these are your fans of the year. Let me tell you about these dudes.
That's Mr. Bing Bash, by the way.
I know.
They have traveled and they love their Colts. I've seen them in Minnesota. They came to Indy last week. They're going to New York. They are coming back for Detroit. These dudes love their Colts, and we need not forget that they love their Colts. Make them your NFL Europe fans of the year.
Thank you, Clyde.
Yeah, Clyde, we need to make sure Marcel's the international fan of the year.
Yes.
We need to marshal a campaign for that and get my brother here hooked up.
I would hope he is my backup. Yeah.
There you go.
That way Christoph can stop giving him shit over being the international fan of the year, and Marcel can go, I am too. Fuck off.
Oh, that's right, because he wears the flag around his neck.
He does.
Oh, you're rubbing it in. That's cold.
He's doing the whole Superman thing.
Meanie, are you gonna be in New York? They're asking.
No, I am not. I unfortunately.
But we will be there.
Yes,
you will be there.
I like these guys.
These dudes are awesome. I met them in Frankfurt last year, and we had one too many of these, and it was a great night.
Never.
Clyde Prost, my brother.
Prost. Yeah, this is not a Weizen, but it's all good. It's something like that. It's all
good. Hey,
good.
Meanie, we got a family member that lives in New York. Came to the Miami game, Zachary Hearn.
Okay.
I will send you because he's wondering who was all
bro.
Who was all what?
I'll explain later, Clyde. Trust me on this
one. Oh, it's not Zachary Hearn.
Who's all what, Big P?
He was wanting to know who was all going. And I said, and I don't even know. So I'll get a hold of him, see if I can pass his number to these guys, and maybe you guys can hook up with them.
Yeah, shoot it to me, Big P, and I'll get it to Auf Deutschland.
Okay,
awesome.
Perfect.
Good. All right, fellas, we got to get out of here. Let's end on our X handles. You can find me on the X at Colts Clyde. CJ, where can they find you?
At CJ Colts fan on Twitter.
Meanie, where can they find you?
You can find me on the Twitter Xbox thing at Blue Meanie Colts. Please check out this damn article on the Sick Podcast, Anvil Joe. Dude, it's funny as shit. Anybody that's read it has told me it's fantastic. So I'm not just doing self-promotion here. So please read this and enjoy it.
And the most honorable X handle that is the worst X handle. Where can they find you, big ball?
Bigpenis.com.
Wow. Jesus Christ.
At Big the smallest penis, you know.
Oh God.
Boy, hey, that came from Europe, Big P. Not me.
Now you got to be cut. Sammy, got it.
Sammy, we promise this was not planned.
They've been making fun of me all night because of the picture with me and AR. I'm right at nipple height. And so I posted on Facebook, I swear to God, I wasn't sucking his nipple.
This guy's nipple.
And everybody's been going, oh, yeah, you were.
We're going to get banned.
Y'all going to get us banned. Sammy, get
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast Anvil Show on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.